This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
Well, while you're here, you're going to do some jobs for Steve Williams. Even in a tag team effort, he'll have Joe Stark on one side. You'll be teaming with Ralph Williams. But mostly it's Dr. Death, Mr. Wrestling 2, and Magnum. But when you come back to wrestle for Georgia Championship Wrestling, it's Columbus, Ohio. And you're teaming with Man Mountain Darsow, who's going to go on to be one of your great close personal friends, Barry Darsow. We know him as Demolition Smash. And, of course, Ole Anderson. So quite a six-man tag. Across from you, Killer Brooks and the Road Warriors. This is, I wish we could go back and watch tape of this, but I don't think it was recorded. It's a live event. Tell me about this. You're in the ring with the Road Warriors. You're tagging with Ole Anderson and what's going to become one of your very best friends.
Yeah, well, Barry was very green. You know, I was still pretty green. Ole was the boss. So, I mean, it was one of those matches that apparently they had turned me babyface or were in the process of turning me babyface. Just looking at that lineup, I know Killer Brooks was kind of the odd man out. I don't know if you ever had the opportunity to meet him.
I didn't.
What a character. Wild man. Lots of fun in the locker room. But Barry knew those guys from Minnesota. He had worked at the gym that they all worked out in, and they bounced together. I think him and Animal and Mike at a couple of the bars around there. So he was familiar with them. I would suggest they weren't mat classics, and I would suggest looking at all the participants, I did all the selling. Can almost guarantee you that. And probably did the job.
Let's talk a little bit about, and boy, this is going to be fun, Ole Anderson as a tag partner. We know you're going to go on to have great success with Ole as a just regular two-man tag, but as a six-man, are you nervous, anxious, excited? I mean, you're in the ring with Ole. He's no longer on TV. He's no longer just your boss backstage. Man, you're in the ring with him, and he's your teammate. This is kind of cool, huh?
I was in awe. I got to see for the first time up close what I had seen as a kid and truly believed that this guy's an ass kicker. And even, you know, during his scuffles with, you know, he's not going to get much on the Road Warriors, and Brooks wasn't a bumper, but he would have been smart enough to bump around for Ole, I think, because he was the boss and he was writing the checks. So that's probably how that went. But, you know, you just got to, when you see guys like Ronnie Garvin and Ole and Wahoo and just, you know, Flair when he was, you know, ass kicking Flair, other than so much entertaining Flair when he really wanted to beat a baby face up, you felt it.
Yeah.
Well, you're standing on the apron, you know, Conrad, as a fan, you feel it when something extra's going on, you know?
Sure.
And that's what I felt. And Ole was just, it became real to me. I wished I would have had an inkling or a premonition of what was to come another year and a half down the road. But for that time, it was a learning process for sure.
The six-man battles continue. You're going to be teaming with Brett Wayne and Man Mountain Darsow. Did you and Barry just hit it off right away?
Yeah. Yeah, Barry and I got along day one. Still a good friend today.
Before you know it, you're back in Canton, Ohio. Now it's a regular tag match. You and Ole against the Road Warriors. Scale of 1 to 10. How rough was working with the Road Warriors when they were green?
Probably an 8.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there. Everything was solid. Everything jarred you. They never dropped me on my head. They never knocked out my teeth, or they never hit me in the nuts. And that's the only 3 no-nos that I really had.
Yeah, getting hit in the nuts is no fun. So how does the transition happen where now you're not just a Georgia guy? For the last 2 months, you've been primarily with Ole and just working the Georgia territory. But now you're going to make some shots for Bill Watts again. Obviously, they had a good relationship, but how is that communicated to you? Hey, we need you in so-and-so town.
Well, yeah, he said, you know, I don't have room for you on the tour, but I can get you some bookings. And I was all about making the money. You know, I had to make the money. In those days, it was not unusual to get sent back to a place that you had been, you know, once you were in a different position. And I went back, I left Marty Lundy and came back mysteriously as Arn Anderson not too long after that. But Bill Watts actually explained it on one of his broadcasts. I saw a clip of it the other day. He went, yeah, this Arn Anderson's really improving. You know, he was wrestling under an assumed name, Marty Lundy. You know, Ole didn't want him to be discovered until he was ready. And he had an whole explanation that actually made sense when you heard it.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.